Bring ding 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 ding. What's up, my dudes? So we have the MX versus ATV Alive bike sounds on MX vs. ATV Legends in an update that came out about a week ago, okay? So, I'm gonna shut my happy tea sipping ass up real quick and let you hear the bike sounds, okay? Let me crank these bike sounds up real quick. Ski audio, you got it, Spency boy. Bike sounds. Who gives a shit about sound effects? Not 100%. You can't turn that completely off. Sick. Love it. Got it. Love it. Kill it. Okay. So, I'm going to shut up and let you guys hear the bike sounds, and I'll come back and talk about it. Okay, so that probably gave you guys a good little idea of what the new updated bike sounds are like on MX vs. ATV Legends. What better track than Catapult Canyon? Okay, so we are on one of the actual Alive throwback DLC track packs with the Alive bike sounds. Now, I don't know if they're actually exacto replicated Alive bike sounds, but Spencer boy. But I know that they're close to it, right? That's what everybody's been making videos on, talking about basically that they have added the Alive bike sounds into Legends. I'm trying to think back to the Alive days, because I know I played a lot of MX vs. ATV Alive when it very first came out back in 2011. And I was playing with the bike sounds back in them days. So I did have a shitload of experience with that. I never thought they were just like crazy above and beyond amazing bike sounds in Alive. I remember, it was just kind of like, same with Reflex. I mean, it ain't like it's just blow your top off. It's just more of a, I guess all of them have their own little quirky things to the bike sounds, have their own good things to the bike sounds. I don't know how much I even remember what the hell the Legends bike sounds were anymore, to be completely honest with you, okay? But yeah, it's just a hard thing to replicate. What a lot of these games have a problem with is specifically when you're just like wide the fuck open, around a track, which typically on an arcade moto game, you're wide open a lot of the times. That's where the sound seems to struggle to keep that realism. I noticed that on Reflex back in the day. Like, if you're just wide open, it's actually not even going to sound like you're wide open the whole time. That's where MX Sim is actually decent at. Like, if you're on that gas, it's going to be making a certain sound on MX Sim. It doesn't do that weird shit where it's sort of like in Reflex, and I even think Alive is like that. A lot of arcade moto games have that shit where if you're wide open for more than like 6 or 9 seconds, it's going to kind of make this little like almost like a little bog noise, like you're not wide open for a split second, and then it'll go back to sounding like you're wide open, even though you never let off of the throttle throughout that whole time frame. You know, it's like the sounds are not even really built for you to actually hammer the gas down in a sense. They're kind of more made for you to just be off and on the throttle, you know? That's what it seems like to me with a lot of arcade moto games. That's what the sounds seem to be like. So, you know, if it ain't gonna rip that sound every time I rip that trigger, every time I'm, you know, getting on the gas and holding the gas down, if it ain't gonna make that sound like I'm wide open, then I don't really know how much I want to even hear it, you know? But that's the whole deal. If you were truly just wide open in an arcade moto game, you imagine just being absolutely wide open on a real life 450, like, that's going to get a little bit monotonous in a game. That's going to get a little bit, you know. So I think that's what they struggle with when it comes to the sound. Trying to get something that's audible, you know, listenable, but like it's also realistic, you know. I think they kind of go back and forth between those things a little bit. But either way, man, that's about it for this video. Just want to let y'all know. About a week ago, they basically completely changed the bike sounds on Legends, and it is pretty much exactly like the bike sounds were in MX vs. ATV Alive. So if you happen to be a big fan of them on Alive, you know, you might want to go check that out, bro. For me personally, like I say, if it ain't two strokes and it ain't like a, I don't know, a simulator type sound system where it, like I say, it truly always plays a loud, wide open sound when you're wide open, then I'm just not interested in it. I don't know. I guess that's my simulator side of me talking there a little bit, but who knows, man? I just think it's been something I don't think there's really been any moto game that has been truly, like, actually full-blown realistic bike sounds. I feel like Sim is probably, it's probably the most realistic in the sense of, like, when you're on the gas, it makes more of a sound, and when you're not on the gas, it makes less of a sound, but it's just a really outdated kind of sound, you know? Gets a little bit of that beep, 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 you know what I'm saying? Gets a little bit of that 1994 fucking computer graphic sound. You know what I'm saying? So that's where they go to the sound mods on Sim and stuff like that, but yeah, there's kind of like there's like a physical aspect to when you're actually using the throttle, like I'm saying, and when it makes a sound, and then also how good the sound is on top of that. You know, there's kind of two layers to it there. There's two parts to it there. But, yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, we'll see what happens with arcade moto game bike sounds, but it looks like on Legends, they're going back to Alive for the time being. I don't know if they're going to keep that, if they're going to go back. I have no idea, bro. But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. I'll see y'all boys on that next one. Bye.